mixer first. We're gonna make dough in this machine, and so this is a silky 25 kilogram mixer, and dough mixer is vital part of like high quality noodle production. Because that helps build a strong foundation of noodles, right? Which is dough basically, but so how a mixer processes flour powders, which like maybe is right now, like putting into the mixer dough body and water and the other ingredients into the dough matters, right? Significantly when it comes to like making great noodles, right? So we can say that mixer is responsible for much of the noodle quality, and we need to get the mixing right to produce superb noodles. So with this in mind, we have built this silky mixer, right? And so this mixer pretty much revolutionizes the noodle production of like in terms like dough making, right? And then so you can make a superb dough quality, right? The quality of noodle dough is pretty much determined by the quality of hydration. So hydration basically like adding liquid to dry powders and mixing the dough powder with the liquid and gradually distributing into all particles of flours. So it's important to equally distribute liquid into flours. So that's hydration. And so how equally we can do that determines the quality of hydration, which determines the quality of dough. And you know this can be achieved by the design of this mixer, and so we're going to show you guys how this works. So first off, like put, we just put like flour, right, and then mix it for 1 minute. Mix it for 1 minute, right, just with the solid ingredients. And now we are adding this liquid, right, and so she's putting the liquid directly onto the lid, right, which has these small holes, right? Small holes. You're kind of and uniquely positioned, and like really small holes, but like more than the previous model. This allows basically slow addition of like liquid into the flours, right? And so we slowly add liquid, like distribute liquid, right? And then so onto the powders, so that it's more equally distributed. And this unique shape of the mixer body allows the kind of well agitation of the flour, right? With the like like mixer blades like rotating, right? And then like this shape, right? This part right here, kind of allows the mixer blades to go in, and then so that like more flour, more dough gets agitated, and then like rotated, like lifted back up, and then down, up, back up, down, like so. It it like causes like more agitation of flowers, so that it kind of promotes the like better hydration of dough. And and it's kind of like edge to edge, like kind of equal distribution of hydration and optimal hydration. So on that edge side, right, edge sides of the mixer body, tends to get like kind of lumpy dough, because like this this um, this small sort of clearance like between the mixing blade and like a mixing wall. The dough tends to get stuck in there, and then like gets lumpy in that this section. And it's like so we put that. I hope you guys will notice, but like we put like that this like kind of special bump on the side, so that like all these uh, the dough that tends to get stuck, right, gets like kind of scraped off, and then like gets mixed in with the rest of the flour, so that promotes like better hydration as well. And and it's like it's everyday thing, right? So it's everyday thing. And then so this is a 25 kilogram mixer, right? So um, you can mix up to like 25 kilograms of solid flour, right? And so 25 kilogram bag, right? You have to lift it, and you have to like put it all of it all at once, right? I mean that's a heavy duty job, right? So you have to lift it to 25 kilogram bag, and then like put all of it right once, right? So like it's like heavy lifting workout almost, and you have to like imagine like you have to do that like 10 bags every single day, right? So if the like entrance of ingredients is like right here, and you have to lift it all the way and do that, right? But we design it to like a low sort of like ingredient entrance, so that like it's just only like 87 centimeters from the ground height. So it's like easier, it's like you don't have to like lift all the way up here, but like you can just like lift it over here, and then so it's easier, like it's easier on the body. Uh, so that's every day. So that's yeah, easier for you and for your workers. It's physically less demanding. So yeah, after 4 minutes, and yeah, we can do like the first water, and so we usually, so you just slides off the lid, right, and it just opens up, right? It's very simple construction, and it's easier, and then kind of it's widely open, right? You just like take the lid off, like slide off the lid, and then like you just the whole thing is like open entrance, right? And again, like so maybe just adding like the rest of water, and the again the small holes, like dripping holes, uh, and taking time to add this liquid into the flour. And so we are just kind of like doing like a slow distribution of water, right? So we slowly do that, and like kind of unique shape, right? It's like there's a dent, like there's a kind of a little bit like in a slope over here, and so this shape, right, allows the kind of slow distribution of water, which translates into like optimal hydration of dough. And this is a medium hydration dough, so like we'll do that like for like 6 more minutes. But for the like kind of reducing the physical labor, right? So this mixer has this the cart. So it's like imagine like you have like 25 kilograms dough, right? It's like in full volume, full load, right? And then you're adding like up to like 40% hydration. So that translates to like the total weight would be like 35 kilograms of dough, right? And then that's gonna fall, right? That's gonna fall into this container, and that's 35 kilograms, right? And then, like it's very heavy to like lift it, and so, but you can just slide them out, right? Slide it out, right? And it's like you can just move it around, and then to your noodle machine. So we made that cart, right? So you don't have to like lift it like one by one, and again, and then also like we divided the container into like four containers, right? Four containers. So, even if it's like 35 kilograms, so you can, develop four. So like, you can just like lift it, just lifting like, probably 9 kilograms of dough at a time. So, you don't have to like, lift like the whole thing at once. So that's like, less physical labor for you, and yeah. So, we designed this design, right? It's less physically demanding. Like it's because it's it's like daily work, right? So if you have to do that like every day, then that's pretty daunting, right? But with this silky mixer, you know, you're consuming probably less energy to do the work, right? So that's how we designed it, and then with this design of the number of like the mixing blades, and then like optimal hydration system, you know you're automatically making better dough, better quality dough. And so basically, hydration is very important. And when you're hydrating, and like the conventional mixer, tends to make like kind of lumpy dough with like kind of insufficient hydration. So which is like really, which makes like kind of poor quality like dough for the noodles. But like this silky mixer, like which is actually well installed in the Richmond Gold one machine too. Silky mixer, but like that's a 10 kilograms mixer, but like it has the same sort of like features that makes a well optimal condition of dough. So that's yeah. So Richmond Gold one machine, has this kind of similar the mixer as well. That's 10 kilograms. And yeah, and so again, like this is a medium hydration ratio noodles, like the total mixing time is like 10 minutes. And right, and then like another thing that we really care about like when we're making like these food equipment is that like it's safety, right? Like safety is like most important part, right, when it comes to like food equipment. And so this machine has the features like, I mean, we don't want the mixer to be like kind of running while the lid is open, right? Because you can just put your hand in there and then like it gets mixed up, like, so it's very dangerous, right? So like it's got the proximity sensor and the mixer lid, so like you don't operate without the lid, right, in place. And um, it also has the sensor at the bottom, because like it opens from the bottom to release the dough, inject the dough right into the this container. It has a sensor here. Then when it opens, the bottom lid opens up. Then it's like far from the metal part, like the bottom metal, like then it wouldn't operate right normally. But like if we have to like take them out, like take those out like kind of efficiently, then there's a function that you can do. Like you have to, but you have to like use both your hands to activate this function, which is like this button and this button, like pushing the same time. And so you wouldn't be able to like put one of your hands and like in the mixer and then like push this hand like and then to rotate the mixing blade, right? So let's take the dough out and show you guys how. So some of the dough like actually falls down, right? But like no, some of them like still left out in there, right? And so you wanna take them out, but like it's kind of dangerous, like rotate the mixer blades. So we push both buttons at the same time to activate this function of injecting the dough. Yeah, so safety feature, we really care about safety. So we have these 3 safety features in this silky mixer. Okay. So, but that was minimum batch, so like it wasn't like 25 kilograms of flour, but like, you guys get the idea of how this mixer works. So even though that's like hydration is 35%, 35%, the condition of dough is like, like probably less hydrated than, like you usually imagine like, 35% hydration dough would be. It's more like powdery than like, kind of wetty, like lumpy, right? So that's kind of condition like you get like using this kind of like more silky mixer. Right, so you can put it out and like move it around, right? And like like wherever you want. And this dough, right, needs resting process. So we'll just leave it there, and then Megumi prepared the dough in advance, right? So let's start taking out the Richmond Gold 2 machine. So we achieved a greater ease of use, right, and high quality and productivity with Richmond Gold 1 machine, right? But now we brought the same set of features and even higher performance in the new Richmond Gold 2 machine. And it's an industrial like noodle making machine that's designed for high volume, right? But it's packed with the features that make daily noodle production as easy as possible. So, we place this dough, right? And then, well, this machine allows us to do like really make the operation like easier. One goal like we have with this machine is like to achieve easy operation, right? Meaning less physical manual work. And it's a daily thing, right? So we want to minimize physical labor as much as possible, so the workers, won't hit the equipment but they even love it and they take care of it, right? So one of the features that like we put in this machine is automatic dough feeder, and like which we are about to show. And so what a manual works, right, which can take some practice to get better at, is feeding of the dough into the roller unit, right? The timing, the amount of dough fed at the time, etc., and it can be challenging for beginners. And this machine can detect how much dough is being fed to adjust the speed of feeding to optimize the dough, optimize it, and then automate it, right? So once you place the dough, right, like you don't just have to feed it manually. All you have to do is just like, just a touch of a hand, like, at the beginning, right? And then like just that roller, just, the dough like gets automatically wound up by itself, right? And as he showed, touch and switch panel control and display, right, is very, it like makes the operation like really easy. You can see actually everything. You can do everything pretty much like with this machine. You can adjust the roller gap by millimeter on the touch screen, and with the touch and the volume, right, you can control the roller speed, and you can check and diagnose actually even like what's wrong with the machine, right? There's a diagnosing mode like that tells us like where we need to check when there's a machine trouble. And yeah, it's like this design makes the operational noodle machine. Okay, so that's another thing like that's a safety feature, and then yeah, I don't think like so that's the screen light sensor that we installed in this machine, right? That whatever the like object like that's passing right through that area, that kind of stalls this operation machine, right? and and the design of this machine makes the operation of this machine like really easier, like kind of physically. Um, Look at this height, right? For example, like height. Height is like we actually, this just 87.5 centimeters high. Where you have to, bring the dough up and place the dough. That's just 87.5 centimeters high. And even Richmond Gold 1, right? That's 1 meter high. Like it's even shorter than Richmond Gold 1 machine. And Richmond 2 machine is like actually 30 centimeters higher than this machine, higher than this machine as well. The higher that, the like more you have to lift the dough, right? So it's yeah, so it definitely makes it easier. Um, and then other features like rolling pin sliders that you're like seeing like this white resin like plastic rails that you don't have to like lift the dough, and then when like we like each time we moved around them, move them around, and then so that's another feature that like makes that kind of everyday operation easier. And the touch panel, the display, sorry that like they're still in Japanese, but like we are translating them in English and other languages. And so we are doing this combining process. And as you can see, like all these rolling pins are like made of plastic resin, like for better sanitary reason. And it's like, yeah, so you don't have to do anything. Like once you set it, just automatic, right? Like you don't have to do anything. Like so, you kind of requires you like less engagement and less labor, like less movements basically. So once you set them right, like you just have like you know don't do anything, right? Just so you don't have to be engaged. Like you can just start doing like other things that are more important and urgent. So that's combined process we are doing, and well, so the overall, right, like this design, right, dramatically reduces the level of skills and physical strength, right, that's needed to operate this type of machine, and that well basically allows like anyone to make delicious noodles like every day, and so so we basically do this combining process like 1 to 2 times, and this time like we're doing like for the second time, and um, yeah, the touch panel like display. Well, in Japanese, like, so it's kind of hard for you guys to understand, but like, so basically, we are doing this combining process, right? Combining process, like, so, we are combining like two sheets, right? So, like, we basically twice, it's like, it says like double, right? Double the thickness, but like, well, we are reducing we are reducing the roller gap by 70%, like 30, actually 30%, but then, so that's what it says. Like, so once she pushes this button, that machine automatically adjusts the roller gap. Just calculates it by itself and it just adjusts by itself. Like, so, you don't have to. So that's why this machine doesn't even have the roller gap indicator wheel. Like, you would have to like kind of manually adjust the roller gap, but this machine does it by itself automatically, right? And then, so from this point on, right, from second combining process, we don't want the dough to stick together. So like, she start dusting, but like dusting is done like in the rear of the machine, right? Um, so the dusting, like dusting powder, just getting on the conveyor, right, conveyor belt, and then that's kind of traveling through like the front of the machine, and then dusting the dusting the new like the dough sheet that's combined through the roller. So okay, so that was second combining process, right? And then so from this point on, like all we have to do is just thin the dough to the final thickness, and so we'll thin the dough, right? And then check out the touch panel that she's going to touch. Like, so that was the combining process button, basically. That's the combining process button. It's like, so once she touches it, like the machine like automatically calculates it, right? Automatically calculates it, and then like the roller gap, right? Roller gap. So that's what it did, and that was like 2.87. So like that, adjusted to like 2.9 millimeter roller gap, and then from this point on, right? Because we are doing just the like thinning, right? Thinning, like we just thin, keep thinning, right? So like So from this one, like, we just thinning it at the ratio of like 30%. So like the roller gap is gets like reduced by 30%, 30%, 30% from this point on, like as she pushed this button. See, now it's 1.98 millimeter roller gap, right? So yeah, you can manually, set this roller gap, right, with the button, but like, this is the so like kind of shortcut button that you can use. So now we're just thinning it, and it's going faster. It's going faster. So after combining process, we can go faster, and yeah, you can set the roller speed, go faster. Okay, so let's measure the actual thickness of the dough, and actual thickness dough is like always bigger than the roller gap, and that's 2.5 millimeter. And so the difference, this is all the difference, right? Like, so that's like about like 0.1, 0.5 millimeter difference. So the dough is expanded by 0.5 millimeter, and yeah, we're going to cut it. And so she set the roller gap by manually, kind of manually, well, not manually, but like she just pushed the button, right, to set it to 0.8 millimeter. And so that's roller gap, right? And then like that goes through the roller, and then we expect it to expand by like 0.5 millimeter, right? Then so the final thickness would be like 1.3 millimeter, and this is the cutter we're going to use, that number 20, 1.5 millimeter width, and that goes in there, right? Goes in there. And part of the ergonomic design of this machine is that, we set this noodle conveyor, right? Noodle conveyor like kind of high, right? That's 60 centimeters from the ground, right? So, it's kind of better for your backs. Like you don't have to like bend over, like, in a kind of awkward position, right? And, hurt your back, like if you do that like for, a long time. And so you can just sit and like naturally sit there and like, the natural posture, and, take the noodles. So it's better for your backs, right? And that's another feature that this machine has. And then also, you know, the like noodles that are coming out like is more visible, right? They're more visible. So, if you're a restaurant, then like, you want the customers to, well, see that like how you guys make noodles. So, it's customers a better view basically, for your noodle production, right? And so it's cutting the noodles, and or slitting and cutting noodles, and like what's also important is that like you can set this duster like right above like where noodles coming out, right? So like you can directly dust noodles that are coming out. And so if you're making, like wet noodle, like kind of high hydration noodles, that are like prone to sticking, then that's a good feature to have. Okay, and right, so like so we want like our customers to have like more value, right, than like in the functionality of noodle production when it comes to like using our noodle machines. So it's like we always, right, design our products with a sense of aesthetic in mind, right? Um, so it's like, well, even though like it's a piece of like food equipment, right? We want people to get curious and keep watching how it works, right? So I think this machine and other noodle machines have that characteristic, and we hope like our customers like would use it. Where their customers can see it and become like they are raving fans, right? Partially because of these machines as well. And yeah, so the design, right, especially when when there's a yeah, when we're cutting the noodles, right? We're cutting noodles. It's great to see, right? Great to show how the noodles coming out, like we make like thinning and cutting the noodles and portioning it out, and it's automatic, right? It's very industrial, and but like at the same like kind of it's beautiful, and yeah, and then so yeah, I think this position, like this height of the like where like well maybe it's catching noodles, right? It's like another point like that makes you want to like kind of showcase this machine like in your restaurant or like your small noodle factory. Like whatever the business that you might like be thinking about doing, right? So yeah, so this is a Richmond Gold 2 machine, and yeah, so we've been selling GPM for like over a year, but like we're now ready to start shipping them to overseas market, and we're working again like these like safety standards certifications, NSFUL like for United States, CSA for Canada, and CE mark for EU countries. And we're expecting to get these certified, get these machines certified by the end of this year. So, if you guys are interested in these machines, please sign up for our newsletters, like send us inquiries so that, you guys, we'll keep you guys updated on these machines. And yeah, and then